Hi everybody, welcome to Scuba Diver magazine, the best place for your scuba diving information, news, and basically these kind of tips and tricks to help you become a better scuba diver. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at how to change over the heel straps on your open heel fins, because whilst there are lots of different designs, the most fundamental sort of traditional design tends to be fairly similar across most fins. And when you're sort of first starting out, you do have to put a bit of sort of effort. There's a little technique into it, and you may not want to sort of feel like you're damaging your fins. So in this video, I'm just going to show you how to do a couple of different fins. The mechanism is very much the same, but yeah, you do need a certain kind of twist and a push to actually get your fin strap off. So yeah, let's jump in and see how to change the fin straps on your fins. Okay guys, so the first thing is to kind of understand what you're dealing with. So there are a few different ways of attaching a heel strap onto a pair of fins. There's a kind of traditional, pretty classic design, and then you get some sort of outlayers, some sort of different ones, which I'll just sort of mention first. So this one, for example, this one comes from Apex. This is the Apex RK3 fins, and this one just has a pretty standard just bolt. A nut and a bolt that goes all the way through, and that's it. So that's pretty unique, and it just means that swapping over your heel strap means that you have to fit exactly the same sort of to it, and you do need some tools to sort of swap it over. But most traditional sort of recreational style fins will have this type of kind of post on the side, and this is what your heel straps are actually attaching onto. So the first thing is to understand that what you're kind of dealing with to actually get your old heel strap off, and the other thing is to sort of understand is that whilst they may look similar, unfortunately, they're in no way universal. They're not the same across all brands, so it does mean that you can't just mix and match. You can't buy any fin strap on the market and fit it to your fins, because a lot of the time, if it's not the same brand, it's just not going to fit, I'm afraid. And it doesn't, your best chance is to sort of stay in the same brand, but even that isn't a golden promise, because if you take Scuba Pro, for example, Scuba Pro have a bunch of different heel straps that only fit select fins in their range. So one of their Scuba Pro fin straps won't fit every Scuba Pro fin. So it's important to sort of understand which fins you have, and sort of which heel straps can actually fit to it. So yeah, so we're looking at the posts. So these guys are sort of what your actual buckle is attaching onto, and it's just a matter of getting it over this sort of widened section, and it's pretty easy, to be honest, but there are some mechanisms that do make it a little bit tricky. So we're going to start off with this one. This one comes from Tusa, and this is a very traditional sort of rubber ratchet style strap. So the first thing that you need to do is to remove the actual sort of strap section of it, because this section, this rotating part of the buckle, needs to come off, and a lot of the time that pinch clip is actually stopping that strap from coming off. And obviously when your heel strap's in position when you're on the dive, you don't want it to come off, because then your entire fin's going to come off. So that's a clever mechanism. Another mechanism that they have, you'll see in a second, but getting this part of the buckle off is pretty easy, and it just takes a little bit of effort and a bit of a push to get it off. So a lot of different sort of heel straps, they'll be sort of 360, so they can rotate all the way around. Others will be limited to which kind of direction they can go. They'll have a little lug on the inside that stops them from rotating too much. But all you really want to do is just push them kind of in the opposite direction. So this one, where the strap would naturally sort of come straight upwards, if it was in this position, you want to push the buckle downwards, so down towards the tip, and you'll hear it click. And then if you lift it off, you'll see what I affectionately call the snowman, So this little snowman has a wide circle at the bottom and a small circle at the top, and you'll see just down right at the bottom he's got a little notch. Now that notch lines up with this kind of cutout, which means that this buckle can only be taken off when it's in this position. So again, that's another mechanism so that the fin strap doesn't come off whilst you're in the water, because this means that your heel strap is literally vertical. So that's just a mechanism, but if you're having trouble trying to get it off, it might mean that you need to rotate it a little bit to get that sort of lug to line up. So yeah, so getting them off is really easy. So this one, you can push it upwards, but then you have to rotate it and sort of find that lug. So that's pretty easy. You do have to push kind of hard. Some fins you have to push a little bit harder just because of the materials. The important thing is that you don't want to kind of wrench it round too much, because you can just kind of wear away, because this plastic, if you do sort of force it too much, you are going to damage it. But you can normally just with sort of fingers and thumbs just give it a good push, and that should come free. I'll put these ones back on first. So yeah, you just need that sort of buckle. You put it on, and then you're just pushing it in the opposite direction until it clicks. Again, it's a fair amount of force, but not too much. If you're really struggling, then you might have to reassess how you're sort of actually removing it. But normally, just a forceful push will sort of get it out. And then with your heel strap, there's a back and a front, and there's also a top and a bottom to heel straps. It's rare that they're just completely flat. So this one, for example, you can see we've got the Tusa logo, and then we've got this kind of bump with two kind of grabby handles. So this is the top. It also means that it's the outside. And a lot of heel straps, if you just sort of put them upright, they'll naturally curve in the right direction. Manufacturers will make them so they naturally kind of hug the back of your heel. But another way to tell is that on the inside, you'll have these ratchets. So these kind of raised sections, they'll be on the inside of the heel strap. Then obviously as you tighten it, they'll be on the outside. But yeah, typically when it's fully extended, these will be on the inside, kind of against your foot. So we're going to put it back on. Very easy. Just pinch clips. Just push that into position, and you're ready to go diving. So that's useful if you're just sort of replacing it for exactly the same, but you can always upgrade them to spring heel straps, which are my preferred. This one is very similar mechanism, ever so slightly different, but I'm just going to sort of show you. So again, I like to do it so that it's facing downwards, just so I can use the actual fin to sort of help me and give me something to grab hold of. Give it a little tug downwards and then lift it off. You can see how we have very much the same sort of snowman design, except he doesn't have that little lug at the bottom, and then the heel post is sort of very much the same. Exactly the same on the other side. Give that a push, give it a wiggle, and that will come off. The heel strap, so this spring heel strap, a bit more obvious. So we've got this big thumb loop, so that goes at the top, so you can grab hold of it to get it on and off. And you can see how it's very naturally cambered to the sort of back of your heel strap, so it's very obvious that it goes back on this way. Now the thing is that whilst these do have that sort of snowman, if I take this one off really quickly, you'll probably find that you won't be able to fit it onto the other fin. So this one, because he's got that notch, that's preventing me from getting that on, so that's a pain. And I imagine if I try and fit the spring heel strap, it's a different size snowman. So a lot of brands will do this. I don't think it's particularly malicious or anything, they're sort of planning it, but it's just a matter of when they're designing it, they don't really confer with one another and decide on a universal size. So yeah, it's really best to sort of stick to the same brand, otherwise you're going to come across that problem. And yeah, even in brand, it's best to sort of stick to sort of exactly what's built for your fins. And universal ones, universal fin straps, they do work, but there's always going to be an exception to every rule, so it's best to kind of stick to the same brand, the same kind of fin strap, and if they do make a spring heel for your fins, then that's perfect. But otherwise, it's not really worth sort of investing in this heel strap, because a lot of the time you might have to just send it back. Okay, so that was sort of changing a heel strap on a pair of fins. A very quick, easy one for you today. But yeah, if you've got a pair of fins and you're kind of struggling with it, just kind of take a look at that notch, see if there's any kind of mechanism that might be kind of slowing you down or something that you need to get around. But a lot of the times it's just kind of rotate it, give it a push, and it should just click straight off. If of course you are having any troubles, then let us know down in the comments below and we'll try and get back to you, sort of try and give you a helping hand. And yeah, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Scuba Diver magazine channel. Thank you for watching, and of course, safe diving.